Hi. Now in this video lecture we will start with a new chapter, conversion and reactor sizing, right? This is the second chapter of book Scott Fogler, right? Chemical reaction engineering. And before this we have done the mole balance equations. In the first chapter we derived mole balance equations for various reactors, right? Now in this chapter we would be modifying those mole balance equations in order to size the reactor, right? So first chapter is important. You need to know that chapter, that is how to derive mole balance equations and how to apply those mole balance equations for different reactors, right? So here conversion simply, when we talk about conversion, this is a term that is used in chemical engineering that refers to the chemical reaction, right? That is the progress of reaction. When we say progress of reaction, that is how does the reaction progress. If this is the product, if this is the A is the reactant, it's forming B, which is the product. So progress of this reaction is measured in terms of reactants or products, right? Change in the concentration of reactant or change in the concentration of product, or to be specific, decrease in the concentration of reactant or increase in the concentration of product, right? This will tell you about the progress of a reaction, right? So in conversion simply means, conversion will simply tell you the progress of a reaction, towards completion, right? So once you know about the progress of reaction, right, or once you know by progress of reaction, if we talk about in connection to reactors, how much of reactant that you have fed, right, in the reactor will get converted into products, right, or how much of reactant that you have fed in the reactor will undergo reaction, right? That's what it simply means. So when we talk about progress of reaction towards completion, just understand that there are two types of reactions that we have studied in school chemistry. The one is reversible reaction, the other is irreversible reaction. In reversible reaction we used to put this kind of arrow, right? So if I talk about this reaction, this is an irreversible reaction, and in this reaction all of the reactants, right, all of the reactant A will get converted into product B, right, and the reaction will proceed in the forward direction. But if I talk about reversible reaction, in reversible reaction an equilibrium will be set up, right? So at equilibrium you need to see how much of reactant has been converted into product, right? So then only you would be able to determine how much of reactant you need, right, to convert them into specified amount of products, right? Because here all of the reactant is getting converted into product in irreversible reaction, but in case of reversible reaction, these product, right, the product will react back to give you reactant, right? So here the conversion is not complete because reactants are reacting back to give you, the products are reacting back to give you reactant, right? So here an equilibrium is established. So at equilibrium you need to see how much of reactant has been converted into product, right? That's the reason we use such a term, progress of reaction towards completion, right? Here at completion you have an equilibrium setup. Here at completion all of the reactant has been converted into product. So this is little basic thing that we already know, right? So conversion is progress of reaction towards completion, right? And if you can quantify this thing, right, if you can quantify quantify this statement, progress of reaction, right, then what we get is the conversion. That's what the conversion is. Conversion simply means conversion of reactants into products, right? So if you can quantify this, or you get a mathematical form of this conversion, of this progress of reaction, right, then what you get is a conversion, right? And what we would be doing in this chapter is, once you have conversion, once you know about conversion, then what you will do is you will modify the mole balance equation. You will modify the mole balance equation for the reactor. We know that we have derived mole balance equations for different reactors in previous chapter. So whatever reactor you are referring to, you take the mole balance equation, right, of that reactor, right? Then if you have the conversion, right, which is again a mathematical form that we will see in a moment, you modify this mole balance equation, right, using conversion, right? So once you have this, right, once you have this equation that has this conversion term, this is your design equation. We say this is a design equation, right? Design equation, if you have the design equation, then you can go ahead and size the reactor, right? Once you have the design equation, you can go ahead and size the reactor. Now what do we mean when we say size the reactor? By sizing the reactor, we mean determine the volume, right? Sizing the reactor means the volume of the reactor required for the specified amount of conversion. That is, if you know about the nature of reaction, how much of reactants will get converted into product, once you have that data in the mathematical form, that if it simply means that if you feed 1 mole of a reactant in the reactor, right, how much of that reactant will get converted into product. That's what it simply means, right? We'll understand this in a bit, in a moment. So once you have this design equation, you can size the reactor. That means by sizing the reactor we mean determine the volume of reactor for specified conversion, right? So basically this equation would be in this equation it would be a relation between, you will see that this would be a relation between conversion, right, will denote it by x, and volume, right? And if I recall the mole balance equation for the simple batch reactor, the equation was dnj upon dt is equal to rj dv, right? This is what the equation was for the batch reactor, right? Now in this chapter what we would be doing is we would be modifying this equation. If you integrate this equation, dnj upon dt is equals to rjv. This was the equation. This was the mole balance equation, right? Now we will modify this equation, right, using the conversion factor x, right? Using this conversion, once you have the progress of reaction, once you can quantify that progress of reaction, what you have is conversion, right? And using that conversion you will modify the mole balance equation, right? So once you have the equation that relates the conversion with the volume, right, what you have is a design equation, right? And once you have the design equation, you can size the reactor. By saying sizing the reactor means determine the volume of reactor, right, for specified conversion, right? Basically we are determining the size of reactor that is used to convert specified amount of reactants into products, right? If you remember, we have studied this in previous chapter, that when we derived the general mole balance equation, we said that this equation can be used to design the reactors, right? This equation can be used as to develop design equations, right? General mole balance equation can be used to generate design equation for reactants, and it is used to find the time and the volume, right? Time and the volume. When we say volume, it's the size of the reactor, right? To convert specified amount of reactants into products, right? If you want, you can go ahead and look back into my lecture where I discussed about the derivation of the general mole balance equation, right? So now we have the general mole balance equation. We would be using that general mole balance equation to determine the volume of the reactor, and to determine the volume of the reactor we need the conversion, right? So now let's just look more into conversion. What is conversion? By taking an example, suppose this is the general equation, right? This is the general equation. Now we will study conversion, right? We will understand conversion based on this general equation. Now, in order to study conversion, we need to select one of the reactant for the basis of our calculation, right? We would be selecting one of the reactants. Say we will select the reactant A, right? So we will be selecting the reactant A, right, as the basis of our calculation, right? And then relate other species involved in the reaction to A, right? We'll take A as the basis of our calculation, then we'll relate other species with A. That is, how much of A, right? How many moles of C will get formed when 1 mole of A will react. This is what it means when we say that we will relate it to the other species, right? So we'll take generally the reagent or the reactant that we select, right, for such calculations is the limiting reagent or limiting reactant. What is limiting reagent or reactant? We have done this in school chemistry. In the chemical reaction, the reactant that completely reacts in the chemical reaction, that is your limiting reagent, right? So we will assume this as the limiting reagent, and when we say it's a limiting reagent, it will completely react in this chemical reaction, right? So this is the limiting reagent. What we will do is we will divide this entire equation with the stoichiometric coefficient of this capital A, which is A. So it will become right. So what this equation is telling us, how much moles of A is how many moles of A or D are formed from 1 mole of A, right? If we have 1 mole of A, how many moles of C are formed and how many moles of D are formed, right? This is what it means, right? So the next thing that we need to look here is, because this is a chemical reaction, like we said in the first definition, conversion is the progress of reaction towards completion, right? So what we would be determining now is how to quantify how far a reaction proceeds to the right. Now how to quantify, this is what I was talking about from the beginning, how to quantify how much of reaction proceeded towards right, or towards completion, because in this direction it's getting completed, right? Once you know this, so how much of the reaction has proceeded towards right, if you just simply understand it, how much of the reactants have converted into products, this is what it means. Or we can use the term conversion for the same. In chemical reaction engineering, we would be using the term conversion for the same, right? So the conversion is the number of moles of A, right, that have reacted per mole of A fed to the system. Like I said in the beginning, when we talk about conversion, it means how much of C, how many moles of C are formed, right, from 1 mole of A, right. This is what it means. That is when I fed 1 mole of A into the reactor, how much of C or how many moles of C are formed, right, from 1 mole of A. This is what it means. It's just simple thing, just we are using different term for it, right. So here we would be calculating the conversion factor in terms of the 1 mole of A. If we fed 1 mole of A, how much of A will react, right. So say we have total moles of A, right, then total moles of A fed into reactor, right, and how much of A will react. When we say how much of A will react, this means how much of A will get converted into products, right. So total number of moles, say maybe it may be X moles, or maybe say any number of moles, say X moles, right. And here we are using it. If you look at this equation, 1 mole of A is forming this much moles of C, right. So if we just write this equation in terms of 1 mole per mole, it would be, for 1 mole it would be how much of A will react divided by total moles of A. This is what it means, right. And this is your conversion. This is how you will quantify conversion, right, or I'm sorry, this is how you will quantify this chemical reaction, right. Quantify how much of reaction proceeded towards right in terms of conversion, right. So this is your mathematical form of conversion that we would be using in future lectures, right, when we will derive design equations, right. As I said that we would be deriving design equations. When we will derive design equations, we would be using this mathematical form, right, to quantify the reaction, to quantify the progress of reaction towards completion, right. So this is the relation, right. So this is for A, right, since we are using this reaction. So this is for A, XA. XA is conversion, right. So conversion XA is the number of moles of A, right, that have reacted per mole of A fed to the system. This is how we define it, right. XA is how much of, if you look at this equation, how much of A will react, right. Above and below you have total number of moles of A, right, total number of moles of A. So if you have fed into the reactor, say X moles of A, so out of those X moles of A, how many moles of A reacted, right, that is your conversion factor, right. So conversion XA is, I'll repeat, is the number of moles of A that have reacted per mole of A fed to the system, right. So this is what your conversion is, right. Conversion is moles of A reacted, right, per mole of A fed to the system, to the reactor, I'm sorry. Once you have this, right, once you have this X, then you can go ahead and modify. After this, what you will do is you will modify the equation, mole balance equation. Once you modify the equation, what you get is the design equation of a reactor, right. From that design equation, what you will do is you can find, from that design equation you can size the reactor, size the reactor. When we say size the reactor, sizing the reactor means to determine the volume, right, of the reactor for the specified amount of conversion, right? So sizing the reactor, I'll just size the reactor. It means sizing the reactor means volume of reactor required for specified amount of conversion, right? So before writing down the design equation, you need to have this conversion, right? Once you have this conversion, you can modify the mole balance equation to get the design equation. Once you have the design equation, you can determine the volume of the reactor. That's what our main is. Now in next video lectures, we would be deriving the design equations for various reactors, right? So I hope this is clear. This is very important to understand the future lectures, right? Thanks.